Rick Harrison has finally said out loud what many have wondered for years, and what he revealed broke the silence. Fans of the pawn shop are stunned. The place is crumbling. His own mom took him to court, and now the truth about Chumlee is dragging. Everything down with it. What started as a show about old coins is now a headline about arrests, lies, and a business falling apart fast. Let's reveal it, because what the police found behind Chumlee's door will leave you speechless. The collapse. No one saw coming. Chumlee's fall didn't happen overnight. It was a slow wreck. First, it was a fight in the street, some guy bleeding, Chumlee running. Then cops showed up. Years later, they knocked on his door, and what they found inside? Not great. Stuff he shouldn't have had. Things no one wants to be caught with. And the weapons, 12 of them, 8 with no paperwork. That's not just a bad day. That's something you can't explain away with a goofy smile, but the worst part wasn't. The raid. Rick tried to keep it quiet. He kept the cameras rolling, made jokes, kept the focus on rusty coins and old swords. But the storm kept building. Viewers started asking questions. Why isn't Chumlee around? What happened to the funny guy with the bad haircut? Some said, I don't see Chumlee doing that. I think that might be somebody out trying. Then the court papers showed up, and everything spilled. At the same time, Rick's own world was crumbling. His mother took him to court. Not just a fight over dinner, a full-on legal battle. She said he tricked her, stole her share of the business, claimed he made her sign things while she was still recovering from a coma. That's not a little problem. That's a giant mess. The pawn shop wasn't making the money it used to. Tourists stopped coming. The world changed. The pandemic hit. And the shop, once pulling in more than $1 million each year, now barely making a dent. Rick was juggling lawsuits, lost cash, and a show that felt more fake with every episode. The show was never the same after the old man passed. He was a rock, tough, sharp, always calling it like it is. When he died, everything started sliding. Corey wanted to be the boss. Rick held tight. And then Chumlee, well, he was busy trying to keep his name off the front page, and just when it seemed like it couldn't get worse, Rick found out about his mom's lawsuit in the news. No call, no heads up, just headlines. She even got a restraining order to stop him from touching the money she says is hers. This woman was over 80, sick, and stuck with bills over $100,000 each month. That kind of pressure? It breaks people. Chumlee had already broken. The deal he cut in court was supposed to keep him out of jail, but now new things are coming to light. Was this graded at one time, or no, I've never had it graded. You mind if I pull this out the plastic? Bigger things. And Rick? He just confirmed it. The life sentence, no dancing around it, no soft words. Rick wasn't the only one crashing. Corey had his own mess. From primetime to police reports, Corey had his own train wreck. That guy made headlines for tossing bar stools and peeing in public, got kicked out of a bar after days of drinking, then wrecked a rented motorhome, didn't pay for the damage. The man who owned it said it looked like a tornado hit it. $130,000 in damage. 10 bookings canceled. Filed a police report. Another mess. Even the experts they brought on the show started falling apart. One got caught hitting his girlfriend outside a restaurant. Another messed up a signature so bad it became a joke. And then one, fake sports stuff, got caught and took the whole show down a notch. The show, once fun and real, now felt like a circus. Viewers noticed. Items were picked out ahead of time. Prices looked staged. The laughs, forced. The drama, too clean. Even Rick didn't seem into it anymore. He was buying property, looking for exits. Pawn Plaza, his big idea, was supposed to bring crowds. It flopped. Shops closed. Food was too pricey. The whole thing looked like an empty promise. Fans stopped caring. And then Olivia Black got fired. For pictures from her past. Fans were mad. Hypocrisy all over the place. Reality shows feed on drama, but when it came to standing by their people, they vanished. One man even said a stolen coin collection got sold to the shop. When he found out, the coins were already melted down. Gone. He said the store should have known. They said they didn't. Either way, it was just another ugly headline. The whole thing feels like a long fall off a tall ladder, from treasure hunters to courtroom regulars. What used to be a fun show about weird stuff and old history became a never-ending disaster. Real. And now, with Rick confirming Chumlee's life sentence, the last piece has dropped. This isn't a comeback story. It's the kind of thing people whisper about years later, saying, "Remember that guy from the pawn show?" Meanwhile, the numbers started crashing. Viewers tuned out. Ratings fell. Social media dragged them. Fans asked, was it all fake? Setup scripts, fake fines, cast members pretending, jokes that didn't land, deals that looked too clean. One episode showed a man bringing a rare guitar, but fans spotted the same guitar on a collector's website months before. Comments blew up. Another time, a seller brought a sword from a war nobody could place. The expert said it was real. A day later, a historian called it a fake. Then came the other experts. Johnny with the toy knowledge, caught in a street brawl. John with the pen skills, mislabeling famous names. Drew, the sports guy, giving the green light on fakes. Each scandal made fans wonder, what else got past? Truth? It's pretty old. Pawn Stars was not what it once was. The air was different. Every new season felt like a repeat. Same faces, same forced laughs, same kind of items. Only now they came with legal baggage. Rick kept pushing forward, but not in the shop. He had other plans, real estate, side hustles, anything but coins and comics. Inside the store, workers said business had changed. Less walk-ins, more stage scenes, rare items magically showing up on camera days after filming stopped. One former staff member said everything was listed before the deal even aired, and all. This while Chumlee waited on his final fate. The streets he once joked about, the friends he partied with, now gone. No fanfare, no special goodbye. Just a line in court and a nod from Rick. Long before the cameras, this family took some hard hits. The true cost of a family business. Back in the late 1960s, the Harrisons were hit hard. Little Sherry had a medical condition. She was born with it. It wasn't something they could fix, and it sure wasn't something insurance was ready to handle. Her parents, they were crushed. Her dad, the one they called the old man on the show, did something big just to try and keep up with the medical bills. He signed back up for the military, not because he wanted to wear the uniform again, but because that uniform came with a paycheck and some health coverage. He had already done time in the service. But this was different. This was survival. And even with that, she still passed. He had originally joined the military after getting in trouble for stealing a car. It was either wear a uniform or face the consequences. He did the years, left when it was done, and tried to live a normal life. But when his daughter was born with serious medical issues and the bills started piling up, he knew he had to do something. So he went back, not because he missed the drills or the discipline, but because that uniform was a ticket to pay off hospital visits and treatments that didn't come cheap. He gave years of his life again, just to try and save hers. Now here's the kicker. Before there were pawn counters and reality television deals, the Harrisons had another gig, real estate. They were riding the wave for a bit. Rick's mom started a business, got it off the ground, and it seemed like things might just click. But this was the early 1980s. The economy didn't just slow down, it collapsed. Mortgage rates shot up like a rocket. Try 18%, let that sink in. They lost money fast, and by the time they saw what was happening, they had almost nothing left, just a few $1,000s. That's when they rolled the dice and moved to Las Vegas. It wasn't a small crash. It was one of those times where the housing market went quiet. Not slow, not steady, dead. No one buying, no one borrowing. Rick remembered overhearing his parents talk about it all the time. Interest rates that sounded more like highway robbery. Bills that didn't stop coming in. It got bad enough that the family business couldn't keep going. They had to pull the plug. With barely $5,000 in hand, they packed up and headed west. Not because they wanted to gamble, but because they had to start something new. Anywhere that wasn't where they were. Rick, he wasn't coasting through childhood either. When he was around 8 years old, things got real scary. No warning, no signs. The world just flipped for him one day. Floor, ceiling, all mixed up. He had seizures, and not the kind you just walk off. These were serious, knock you down and keep you there type seizures. Sometimes he couldn't even walk after. Not for days, not for weeks. That meant no sports, no hanging out, just books. Tons of books. And that reading time? That shaped him more than anything else. The seizures didn't just knock him down. They pulled him away from everything.